everyone, this is Dana once again. We're already on the third episode of our series on working from home and life lessons. So the lessons that we learn out of life, out of the situation that we're now in. Okay, so yesterday we talked about planning. So this was the second day of our series, the first one of which was the first day. We talked about discovering yourself, discovering your potentials, discovering what you're made of, what you can do, what are your skills and abilities. Today we are now going into the third phase. So after we discover, we plan, now it's time for us to, of course, take action. Now, for us to be able to really organize our ideas, we're going to come up with another one of our acronyms. So yesterday our acronym was PBA, that is prepare, building your network, and anticipating. So now that we are on our third phase, which is taking action, we are going to have an acronym and call it, as you probably will know, ACTION. Now, what does ACTION stands for? So the first one that we have is the letter A. So A stands for attend. Now, once we already discover what our potentials are, once we discover our skills, and we start planning about it, we now try to attend to the needs of our clients. What do they need? What is it that they're interested in getting? What do you think will be most useful for them? Or what do you think will be most appealing for your clients or your customers? So try to know the needs. Try to know what are the necessities, especially in this pandemic that we are now in. Most of the basic needs that we have would actually be food, of course beverages, they're basic services. So try to dig into that. Try to check what do you think will be most useful for everyone. So attend to the needs of your customers or your clients. So whatever products or services that you will be promoting, you have to make sure it is something that your customers will be needing. Okay? So we now go to the letter C, which is care. Now, whichever product or item or services that you offer, you have to make sure you show care to your clients. So, for example, you plan to promote or sell wellness products. So make sure these products are those things that will make your clients feel good about themselves. It will make them feel better, will make them feel good. And also try to not just sell the items as if it's just there because you want to earn money, but it is something that shows how much concerned you are to your clients. Another example is that when you're going to be doing home catering service, as we kept on talking before, because as you said, food is one of the basic necessities that we now have. You have to make sure that your food was well taken care of. It's not just delicious, it's healthy. It's also very affordable. At the same time, it's not spoiled. There isn't anything in there that would do any harm to the bodies or to the health and the welfare of your customers. Another is if you're planning, let's just say for instance, you're going to plan to do beauty services like a home service salon, although we have to also take in consideration that a lot of people are still a little bit frantic about letting people in their homes, and well, we can all actually understand that. But what I'm trying to say is, if should there be a chance that we can try to do those personal salon services, then we make sure that, for example, since the hair, make sure that you really take care of your client's hair and whatever it is that they need within themselves. I remember when I went to a salon before to have my hair done, because I started having my hair colored at a very young age. So my hair turns to gray every so often, like 2 or 3 weeks, and my hair starts growing. I'm having gray hairs once again. So what I did was I went to a salon, and I have my hair colored. Now, after that, I thought everything was all right, so I went home. Lo and behold, when I got home, I checked on my hair in the mirror, and then I saw those gray hairs were still there. So I went, after about a day or two, I went back to the salon and told them what happened, and told them that I still have those gray hair rather. So I went back, and of course they treated me with another hair coloring. This time I didn't have to pay for it, not for the service, but I have to give a tip to the person who did the service for me, just for consideration. So she colored, I think it's a different person who colored my hair once again. They said they probably had the percentage wasn't really right. So they had my hair colored once again. After that, I was still in the salon. My hair was already dry. I started checking it again because I didn't want to go back. And you probably have guessed it right. There was still gray hair on that. So I told the person who colored my hair, said, there's still a lot of gray hair here. So she did the same coloring. So this is the third time. That was the third time until everything was all right. But I didn't get pissed off. I didn't really get angry because I know that they were just doing their job. But of course, I never went back to the same salon again. Now, if you must know, I grew up when I was growing up, my mom was a hairstylist. In the Philippines, we call them beauticians. Sometimes we call them hairstylists. So I was kind of very understanding when it comes to these things, because we grew up with my mom doing this job, and this is the reason why my siblings and I were able to go to college, because of the work that my mom had done. So I was quite understanding of that situation, because nobody's perfect. People make mistakes, so that was done, and I was okay with that. But what I was saying is that you have to make sure that by being caring to your customers, you go the extra mile. If something happens, if something goes wrong, and also you have to always make sure that at the end of any service that you're going to be providing, there's a bit of care that's intact in that service that you have given. As I said yesterday, it's a word of mouth. When they see and that you did well and they're happy with your service, it will really spread like wildfire. People will start talking about what you have done good for them. So it pays to really show a lot of care in whatever you do. Another example, let's just say for example, you are going to do car washing. Make sure that you really have washed the car thoroughly. If you're going to do a repair, make sure you fixed whatever gadget, whatever appliance or electronics that will be given to you. So a lot of care goes a long, long way. So make sure you show that compassion, you show that care for your clients, because it will also be one way for them to keep on going back to you and keep on availing of your services. Now that's the letter C. Now we go now to the letter T. So what is the letter T? Letter T is test. Before you even promote your product, before you even sell those products, make sure you have tested them first. Make sure that you were the first customer, because if you would just be taking it out there in public to the market without really testing it yourself, then it might bring you a lot of trouble. So for example, if you're going to test, let's say, food products, make sure you try to taste them first. If it's going to be any kind of appliances, make sure they're working well. If, let's just say, for instance, you're going to write a book or do reading, make sure that you have proofread what you have written. So it always goes first to you, you being the first customer, you being the first client. So you have to ask yourself, if I were my own client, would I be happy with my service? Would I be satisfied with the product that I have sold? So be the first customer, be the first one to try out your product. And if you're happy with what you have offered, then I'm sure your clients will feel the same way. So test your product first. Now we go to the letter I, which is innovate. So you have to know how to innovate. In a world where everything is so digital and people are fighting it off to promote whatever products or services that they can offer, you have to be able to stand out. For example, if you're offering your services as a graphic artist, then you have to make sure that your designs will pop out, meaning that your design will be very different from all the rest, something which is appealing to your customers and of course also the customers of your client. So make sure that is going to be unique. Make sure that it's not going to be just like everyone else. Because, for example, if you are going to give a product which is somehow the same with someone else who's offering the same item, and they offer a lesser price, but you won't be willing to put your prices down, you have to make sure that you offer something new to them, something new to your customers. They might say, why am I going to buy your product when I could buy it for a lesser price? Then you tell them, well, there's an add-on, there's something extra, there's something special about what I'm offering to you as opposed to what you see from other people. So learn to innovate. I think there's another word for it. You can probably say that reinventing. It's like reinventing yourself. Although that's going to be another topic. And in some days we're going to discuss these things. Now that's innovate. Now what is letter O? O is own. O-W-N. So when you already sold your product, when you've already offered your services, you have to make sure that you own up to it. Meaning you take accountability for whatever happens to the products that you have sold or for whatever service that you have provided. So if something goes wrong, own up to that responsibility. If it needs to be repaired, if your product needs to be replaced, or if the service has to be repeated, own up to it. Take accountability for it. Make sure that you just don't leave your clients hanging and say, oh, I'm done with you. I've already gotten what I want from you. I've already sold my product. You've already paid me. The whole service stops from here. No, you have to remember customer service. You have to make sure that's an after-sale service. You have to make sure that after you've already given out the product, you've already provided the services, make sure that even after that, you will still show concern to your clients. Because again, it's one way for you to make them keep on coming back. It's one way for you to keep them as clients. It's a one way for you to have the same business over and over again. Remember, it's really human nature. When you do something good, there are moments when people will forget it easily. But when you do something bad, it spreads so easily and people will never forget that, especially with the onset of social media. So make sure that you take responsibility for everything that you do. Otherwise, people will start talking about you. People will start to say bad things about you, nasty things about you, and I don't think you would want that. So own up to whatever it is that you have done, whatever it is that you have offered as a product. And the last one, which is very important, probably the most important of it all, will be to the letter N, never give up. I know that this is always going to be a new thing for us, to be locked up in the house and be forced to try to find ways in which we can earn, try to figure things out, and as I said, discover what we can do, what we can offer. And at times it will be rough, especially if this is the first time that you're ever going to do it. There's going to be a lot of bumps on the road. There's going to be a lot of times when you feel like, I'm done with it. I don't want to do this anymore. This is just way too difficult for me. This is probably not going to be my turf. But if that's going to be your mindset, that you would just give up so easily at the snap of a finger every time that you stumble upon a roadblock or you stumbled upon a very big hindrance towards the achievement of your goals, then what would happen to you? You will just keep on giving up and you will never reach your target. You will never achieve your goals if at the slightest difficulty you would just be giving up. So never give up. I could not tell you how much that mantra or that saying has helped me. There were moments in my life where I wanted to really give up because I feel like I'm at the dead end. I don't have anywhere to go. I don't really have anything going for me anymore. So the easiest way is to just, throw in the towel and surrender and just, give it all up. But then I have people around me, I have family, I have friends who kept on cheering me up, who kept on cheering me on rather, and telling me, hey, there's just way much more that you can do apart from the things that you have failed to do. I've been listening to a lot of materials about, things that make you, the things that motivate you, so that I can keep on, moving on and doing the best I can for whatever is task that's given to me. So it's important to not readily give up when you think things are going wrong for you, because you just have to keep on. You have to keep press on, especially when things are really getting to be so tight. This particular scenario I could very much relate to. Like, I had to ask support. I had to ask, as I said before yesterday, I said that I had to ask prayers from my support group and from a friend of mine, because as I said, the task that I'm doing right now seems to be insurmountable at times. I feel like this is a huge thing for me. I don't even know if I can really make it, if I can really do this job that I was asked to do. So with a lot of motivation from the people around me, and also a lot of encouragement from those who know best, those who have gone through these struggles themselves, then somehow it perked me up to be on my toes again and say that, yeah, I can do this. I'd be able to surpass all of this. So I had better sleep last night. A friend of mine helped me go through what we call a mindfulness meditation, a mindfulness exercise, so that I could, be raring to go once again and tell myself that this is workable and I will be able to do this, and I could survive whatever it is that I am going through right now. So it's never an easy journey to be in, to press on, as I've said, and work through your goals, but you have to just keep on going. When times get rough, don't just give up. Give in to whatever it is that makes it, whatever it is that you're going through, it will pass. All those struggles, all those hardship, all those sacrifices that you need to do, those will all pass. And if you just hang in there until such time that you achieve your dreams, then you realize that it is worth it after all, and you'll be very glad that you did not give up in the first place. Okay, so that's it for today. Shout out to Social Bounty for listening to me. I'm not so sure if you're the only one who's listening to me right now, but thank you for subscribing to my channel. I hope that there will be more people who would be able to listen and watch this series of working from home and the life lessons that we get out from this situation. As I said, I have two reasons why I'm doing this. First is I want to keep my sanity. I feel that you see, even if I'm locked up at home, I can still talk to someone. The other one is for me to be able to inspire people to realize that it may be a difficult situation that we're now in, but there's still something that we can do about it. We can't just tell ourselves that we're helpless against this nemesis. We have to keep on. This is what we human beings are made of. We always keep on fighting. Whatever circumstances that we go through, we have to keep on fighting. Okay, so again, thank you very much, everyone. For those of you who are watching right now, thank you, everyone, for always sticking out with me, and I hope that we'll see each other again soon. Okay, and God bless everyone. Thank you.